To her, stopping was unnecessary. The car continued to hum softly as it sped down the dark road. Inside, the little girl wasn't having it. She shifted in her seat, pressing her face to the cold glass of the window. The world outside was quiet, shadows stretching across the deserted street under the faint glow of streetlights. "Mom," the girl whispered, turning her head, her voice trembling. What is she doing out there alone? What if something bad happens to her? Her mother barely glanced at her, exchanging a look with the older woman seated beside her. The older woman, the grandmother, gave a pointed glare to the young mother before speaking firmly. "No, dear, I don't think it's right to stop," she said. Her voice clipped and authoritative. "She might be with the bad guys. These things happen, you know. They use children to trick people, and before you know it, you're in trouble." The girl's lips trembled, her small hands clutching at her dress as tears welled in her eyes. She turned away from her mother and faced her grandmother directly, her gaze wide and pleading. "But Grandma," she said softly, her voice shaking as emotion bubbled up. "What if she's lost? What if she's trying to find her parents? What if—" She paused, her voice breaking. "What if I was the one beside the road, and people just drove by me?" Her words hung heavy in the air, an unspoken challenge piercing the grandmother's composure. The older woman's face hardened for a moment, her lips pressed into a thin line. But as her granddaughter's tear-filled eyes searched her for answers, she felt the weight of guilt pressing down on her. She couldn't bear the thought of being seen as the villain in her grandchild's innocent eyes. Her expression softened slightly, though her tone remained firm. "Go back," she ordered, her voice carrying the authority of someone who rarely admitted fault. The driver nodded, his hands gripping the steering wheel as the car tires screeched in protest. The sudden halt jolted everyone inside, their expressions shifting to a mix of surprise and unease. As the car reversed down the empty road, behind them, the escort vehicle followed suit, its headlights casting eerie shapes across the dilapidated buildings lining the street. As they slowed near the spot, the girl leaned forward, her tiny face pressed against the window once more. The figure was still there, a young girl no older than she herself. She stood motionless in the shadows, her arms crossed, tightly over her chest as if shielding herself from the night's cold. Her face was barely visible, but the slight quiver of her shoulders betrayed her fear. Inside the car, the grandmother's lips pressed tightly together, her knuckles whitening as she gripped her handbag. The little girl whispered, "See, Grandma, she needs us." But the older woman stayed silent, her expression unreadable. The faint sound of the young girl's uneven breathing mixed with the low hum of the vehicles, creating a tense pause that stretched into the night. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. If this story stirred something in you, a like or a comment goes a long way. And subscribing means you'll never miss the next chapter. Until then, stay gentle, stay curious, and keep the stories close.